Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about a recent train hijacking, the incident which we have witnessed in the Pakistan, especially in the Balochistan region of Pakistan. And Pakistan government officially has blamed that Afghanistan and India is behind this hijacking. They are the mastermind behind this entire drama that has unfolded there. So let us try to understand what this hijacking was all about, what was the reason behind the group who was behind it, and how Pakistan is trying to link both India and Pakistan in this particular instance. Now, to give you the brief context of this particular topic, what Pakistani's ISI's spokesperson and further Pakistan Foreign Ministry spokesperson both have reiterated the same point, and that is the terrorist incident which they believe has been carried out is largely done by the handlers in Afghanistan. Handlers in Afghanistan means the operatives who are on the ground, who are behind the hijacking of the train, behind the overall, we can say, incident that unfolded around the Balochistan region, but they were being guided by the people who were in continuous contact by the walkie-talkies, and they were located in Afghanistan. That is at least Pakistan, what Pakistan believes. Second point, they have mentioned that though the handlers were in Afghanistan, the main team who was behind the entire this orchestration of this entire hijacking was India. That is what Pakistan claims, that India is the mastermind behind it. And then the Pakistan Foreign Ministry spokesperson, he has not taken the name of the country India directly, but he has said that the main sponsor of this incident is our eastern neighbor. Now, obviously, eastern neighbor means here clearly it indicates India. Indian mainstream channels also, they have alleged, talk about the new channels which are continuously reporting this particular train hijacking incident. The Pakistan blames that they were relying on the videos and the photos that were directly shared to them by the Balochistan Liberation Army. Also, they said that they were using morph photos, images, or AI photos, AI artificial intelligence based photos and videos to further their agenda. So that is overall what we can say is the allegation. Now let us try to understand the context of the entire topic, what actually has happened. So if you take a look at the map here, there is the map of Pakistan. If you look closely near the border of Afghanistan, Pakistan, what we can call as the northwestern part of Pakistan, there is a city called as Peshawar. And then you have the eastern part of Pakistan in the southern side along with the border of Iran, you have the region of Balochistan. And within the Balochistan province, you have a place called as Quetta. So the train that actually was hijacked was on its journey from Quetta to Peshawar, which is almost about 1,600 kilometers of very, very long journey. And just after the train departed from Quetta, a small distance away, somewhere in the region of Sibi, as you can see, which is also lying in the Balochistan, this is the place where hijacking has unfolded. So basically, the group behind this entire hijacking, the responsibility has been claimed by the BLA, that is the Balochistan Liberation Army. It attacked and seized the train in the particular province of Sibi. The name of train was Jaffar Express. So that this is a train that has been hijacked. So that is the overall entire context. Now the question comes that why Balochistan Liberation Army has attacked and hijacked the train? What is the main reason behind their such kind of actions? So let us try to briefly understand about the BLA, that is the Balochistan Liberation Army. Now, obviously, as the name states, this is largely a group of soldiers who are working continuously with a sole objective of complete independence from Pakistan. Balochistan, if we talk about, is a region in Pakistan where you have a majority of the ethnic group called as Balochi residing there. Also, some Balochi people reside on the other side of the border, that is in Iran as well. And the main objective of the Balochi group is to carve out their own Balochistan, both from Iran and Pakistan, and create their own separate nation, a separate ethnicity-based state, we can say. So in the 1990s and early 2000, during the wave of Baloch insurgency, you have a beginning, or we can say emergence, of a group called as BLA. And the BLA was largely founded by the leader called as Baloch Marri, whose photograph you can see from here, who was a son of very influential tribal leader of Balochistan called as Nawab Khair Bakhsh Marri. You talk about in 1947, Balochistan was not a separate single state. Largely, it was basically governed by many Nawabs. And some of the Nawabs were very, very influential. Like, for example, Nawab of Kalat, who was the most influential Nawab of Balochistan. So, similarly, one other Nawab called as Khair Bakhsh Marri and his son that is the Baloch is the mastermind behind the emergence of Balochistan Liberation Army. However, a few years later, he was also assassinated and killed by the Pakistani military. Now, this entire development has happened during the fifth wave of insurgency. We talk about the Baloch insurgency. It began somewhere in the 1948 after it was annexed by the Pakistan. And as we know, the cases that goes with most of insurgency, they reach their peak, then they gradually decline. They seem to be dying out. Again, some new leaders come. Again, you have a fresh set of insurgency. So, if you think like this, over a period of last 60, 70 years, Balochistan and Pakistan has witnessed five insurgency waves, and during the fifth insurgency waves that lasted between 2000 2006-7, after the killing of Baloch tribal chief Nawab Akbar Bugti, who was a very influential leader of Baloch we can say region. That is when you have the emergence of BLA, and it has distinguished itself as a group that is committed to complete independence from Pakistan. They do not seek any kind of middle ground, any kind of negotiation. They are very radical in nature in terms of their demand, and they want Balochistan to completely secede away from Pakistan. There are many other groups from Balochistan region who are we can consider as moderate, who are trying to have negotiation and discussion for more autonomy, for more we can say transfer of financial powers, economic resources to the people of Balochistan for the well-being. But BLA is quite different as compared to those groups. Also, one thing you will try to understand that generally and traditionally, most of the Baloch insurgent groups have been largely controlled by the traditional Nawabs and their families, who are having much more conservative outlook. On the other hand, BLA's leadership largely today rests in the hand of educated youth who also are well aware about the recent development across the world, who are not shying away from using the modern technology such as drones, such as artificial intelligence, such as social media to further their agenda and demands. So that is what make BLA a much more powerful force in Pakistan today. Now, if you talk about the region of Balochistan, if you look at the map here, this is the map of Pakistan. So the red region that you saw here, the shaded area, as you can see along the border of Afghanistan, Iran and Pakistan, obviously in the territory, you have a large province of Balochistan. If you look closely, Balochistan, why it is important? Because obviously if you talk about the Gwadar port, that also is located in the Balochistan. It is through Gwadar port China is trying to China has actually constructed CPEC, that is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So Chinese investment also come at risk when the Baloch insurgency is on rise. That is what we have to understand here. And then you have the Sindh province, Punjab province, then you have the FATA, and then you have the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. These are the five major provinces of the Pakistan. Now, if you talk about the Balochistan, as you discussed, till 1947, Balochistan comprised multiple chiefdoms. The most powerful of them was Ahmad Yar Khan of Kalat. In 1948, then Pakistani army attacked the Kalat region. They defeated the Ahmad Yar Khan and his tribal soldiers, and after that, it was annexed, and the Balochistan was made forcefully the part of the Pakistan. And since then, it has triggered an insurgency which remains ongoing, largely because Balochi people claim that what they have experienced in last couple of decades is the unjust behavior of Pakistani government toward Baloch, where they are severely discriminated, where the resources are taken from the Balochistan region, but no benefits are transferred to the Balochi people. So that is the reason behind their entire this revolt, we can say. Now, if we talk about the Pakistani stand, obviously they considered BLA or Balochistan Liberation Front, another major group operating from Balochistan region, as a kind of terrorist organization. They believe they are reportedly operating with a foreign support from neighboring countries. And the same point has been reiterated in this case as well, where Afghanistan and India has been blamed by the Pakistani government. Pakistani state believes that these groups largely consist of young Baloch individuals from Balochistan province, which has drawn the ire of state security institutions. And many of the soldiers and the people of Balochi region have been assassinated. The leaders we talk about, many of them have been put in the jails, and many of them have disappeared without any trace. So the main grievance that Balochi people have and why they are supporting this organization is because of the misallocation of the resources. Most of the Balochi people believe that the resources, Balochistan is a very important area from the perspective of mineral resources, and also because it provides deep sea port such as Gwadar port. So it has a lot of things to offer for the overall development of the Pakistan, economic well-being of Pakistan. But its own people, the Balochi people, if we talk about, they are not getting any benefit from the central government, and this has led to the continuous underdevelopment of the Balochi region. So they believe the resources of their region are being exploited while difficult living conditions are being created for them artificially by Pakistani government, which is further exacerbated by the international and regional player. That is obviously referring to the Chinese investment here, that again has sidelined Balochi people, because if you talk about such a huge project that is a China-Pakistan economic corridor project, there was so much rapid development has happened, but largely the engineers, if we talk about the workers, laborers, they were brought either from China or other part of Pakistan. The Balochi people were not able to get any kind of employment in these development projects. That also has further exacerbated the negative sentiment that had persisted for quite a long period of time, that has intensified in the recent times. Activists claim that the state had forcefully disappeared, and we have discussed before, 14,000 Balochi people are missing. Pakistani government has kidnapped them, maybe they have put them in jail, but there is no record of them, so it is feared that many of them might have been assassinated as well. Now, coming back to this recent incident, when the Pakistani government and its army military has launched an operation to free the hostages that were hijacked during the from the Jaffar Express, and the operation has been named as the Operation Green Bolan. Bolan is basically the pass in the Balochistan region, which also is connecting the rugged mountainous terrain to the flat land further in the east. So in this context, the Green Bolan operation, if we talk about, it was largely launched by the Pakistani military, the elite commandos of Pakistani military, as Pakistan has stated, and they relied heavily again on drones for the reconnaissance operations. Aerial units were deployed just after 1 hour of the train being hijacked and stopped. And then also they claim that during the reconnaissance operation, what they have observed, the Balochistan Liberation Army, who were behind the hijacking operation, they have segregated passengers based on ethnicity. And that makes sense, because BLA, if you talk about, they are largely fighting for the right of Balochi people. So obviously they would not want to harm Balochi people. And since the train has begun its journey from Balochistan, obviously there will be many Balochi people as such in the train within train itself. So that is why they might have segregated people on the basis of ethnicity. Many of the fighters who remained at the site, also Pakistan claims, were suicide bombers who wanted to kill as many people as possible if the operation is launched. Now, if you talk about the entire operation, it was carried out by what Pakistan call as the Zarar company, which is considered as an elite group of the Army's Special Services Group of the Pakistan. And during the operation, Pakistan finally, after 36 hours of standoff, were able to rescue 354 passengers who were on board the train. 26 passengers, however, and security officials were killed during the operation. And on the other hand, also 33 fighters, Pakistan claimed, who were from the Balochistan Liberation Army, they were also killed and neutralized. 3 of them were the suicide bombers who were killed during the first phase of the operation. Now, as we have discussed, that Pakistan has laid the blame on both Afghanistan, from where Pakistan believes the handlers were giving continuous directives, and the what you can call as the instruction to the fighters on the ground. So officials from both countries, both, that means Afghanistan and India, have strongly reacted to Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement. If we talk about the Afghanistan's response first, obviously a Taliban's spokesperson called as Abdul Kahar Balkani, he has clearly stated that Afghanistan have no connection between the attackers and the use of the Afghanistan territory for carrying out these attacks. Pakistan, on the other hand, should focus on its security and resolving its internal issues instead of making irresponsible statement. Now, it's very interesting, because when Taliban captured Afghanistan, when Taliban came back to the power in Afghanistan after almost, we can say, 20 years, there was an elated response from the Pakistani military, Pakistani ISIS specifically, because they believe and now Pakistan will enjoy a very strong sense of solidarity and friendliness with Afghanistan. But that has not turned out to be true, because now Pakistan and Afghanistan seems to be in a direct confrontation with each other, where many times they have launched attack against each other's territory. And this kind of allegation comes at the point when the bilateral relation between these two countries seem to be at the lowest point. So no BLA members were present in Afghanistan, and also the Taliban spokesperson have denied any connection between the group and Afghanistan as so. However, again, if you look at the UN report that was published, I think last year, UN report has clearly stated that in Afghanistan territory, many of the groups such as the TTP Pakistan, that is the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, responsible for carrying out many attacks, terrorist attacks in the Pakistan territory, they have been enjoying support enjoying refuge in the Afghanistan. So this might be also one of the things we have to keep in mind. Now, as far as India is concerned, obviously, the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal has clearly stated and rejected any kind of allegation that Pakistan has levied upon it. He has said that we reject the baseless accusations made by Pakistan. The whole world knows where the epicenter of global terrorism is, and this has become much more clear when the Osama bin Laden was found nowhere else but in the Pakistan. Pakistan should look within itself instead of blaming others for its internal problems and failures. Now, obviously, see, this entire incident, the increase in the terrorist attacks that Pakistan is witnessing, can be considered as nothing but the classic case of chicken coming back home for roosting. And that is something that we have to understand, that every action that you have, it will have the consequences that will have to bear in the future, if not present. So Pakistan's activity, Pakistan's ideology, and overall we can say the policy for many decades to support terror groups, largely to use it as a proxy to attack India, to attack other peaceful countries. Now that these terrorist group itself has turned their head, turned their gaze toward Pakistan, and that is the consequences Pakistan has to bear with. So with this, we can understand the entire incident, how it has unfolded, how the Pakistani military has responded, how the Pakistani government has responded, and what was the rationale and reason or raison d'etre behind such kind of hijacking by the Balochistan Liberation Army. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your fellow aspirants, as well as subscribe to our channel for more such helpful content. Thank you very much.